Let's put some happy little clouds on top. There we go. A little more happy clouds. A little more here and there. There, I got a few happy little clouds just dancing around, waving at each other. It's your painting, you can do it any way how you like it. Don't let anyone tell you any different. You're the master of your world, and I'm the master of mine. Let's rip off that vinyl roof. Looks like the Sasquatch used it as a scratching post. It's gonna go straight in the dumpster. It's like week-old dry pizza in your fridge. This is gonna be work. Scoop it off. Anything I do to this thing now is an improvement. It's like Christmas unwrapping. I got a Cadillac for Christmas in September. It's got good patina. I'll fix the rust in the way that I only know how. I kind of like it like this, though. Patina look. Still a little sticky after all these years. I was kind of hoping it'd come off clean. Some do, this one don't. I need a tool. Ask and you shall receive a tool. Start from the bottom. Well, at least that side ain't as bad as the other side. Not too bad. Keeping the D-Elegance badge. Shouldn't it say elegance? D-Elegance sounds like it's a detune type of thing, like an opposite. Like frost, defrost, de-elegance. I think that'd be the opposite of elegance. You know what, that's true. I should put that back on. I mean, look at this fucking thing. This is a de-elegance. Semantics. Oh no, he's scratching up the paint. Oh, that's not the right way of doing it. I hear a million different ways of restoring a car, both in person and online. I'll just do it the way I only know how, with barbarity and common sense. It's like I need KY jelly or something to get this thing in there in some spots. This is why I fucking hate vinyl roofs. There's nothing wrong with a hard top. Yeah. It's sportier, I think. But Cadillacs are supposed to be luxury. Yeah, well, the Eldorado is a mix of both. It's, you know, it's why we have the Monte Carlo, because it's their answer to the Eldorado. And then you got the Riviera, and then you got the fucking, that Olds. They made their own version. When one brand makes something GM, all the other brands got to, you know, join in that circle jerk, make their own versions. That's how GM works. Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and Cadillac. It's just a big circle jerk with similar parts on some of them. GM is definitely true. Some cars share the same parts. I mean, the wiring after 77 up, man, the wiring really got fucking universal. At least in the B bodies. Yeah, them fucking B bodies, I love them because they're so easy to work on. You don't have shit for a Chevy, look for a Pontiac. No shit for an Oldsmobile, look for a Buick. Cadillac, well, they made a lot of them, so they make up in numbers. Ah, this thing, that would be the Opera Light. Oh. Is there power going to it? No, no arc. Yeah, I'll just go around it. Hey, to my luck, it's tearing around it. That helps. You know, with like 80 grit sandpaper, you can actually sand all this shit down. In fact, before I armor plated my Cadillac, it had the exact same type of vinyl roof. It was padded. You can sand it down. It's a lot easier than scraping. So I got some experience with this. And there was rust underneath there too, but not as severe. But then I always garaged that car. I spoil a car that looks like it's been sitting outside for 30 years. Ah, take it, you bitch. Arrgh. Gotta attack now before it gets too severe to work on. It's tricky working on this window. Taking my time with it. It'll eventually release. Yeah, if it breaks, I'll just use plexiglass. It's mostly flat, so I'm not saying it would ever get like that, but worst case scenario, if it fucking breaks into a million pieces into ghetto diamonds, well, I can always plexiglass it. You know, it's mainly a flat piece, so... Well, let's not think about what ifs and start doing what's going on right now. Well, that wasn't too hard. I cut the connecting wires for the rear window defroster on each end, which is not really a big deal. I didn't want to find a way to unscrew it, you know, from inside while it's still holding onto the window, so I just cut it. I can always just resolder them. So now it's just a matter of going to town on this with a grinder and pure 15 the shit out of this. And then, you know, either me or I just have some window place reseal it. Got something over the area where the window used to be, because I'm going to take a wire wheel brush and just clean all the loose rust here. Not using that, but this is more appropriate. And I'm going to treat it with pure 15. Good stuff. And then I'm going to take that and get that attachment out for a cutter wheel. I'm going to go over that crudely drawn line. Cut all this out. I'm going to pure 15 all this, so a lot of prep work. So I'm going to start by doing this whole area here. Like I said, just lightly go up and down it, vacuum and blow it out, and brush this on. Should have enough. This stuff goes pretty far. Usually want to wear gloves because this is like a 2-week long tattoo. But if you want to be a dick, if you got a buddy who's a heavy sleeper, take a little paintbrush and some pure 15 and draw a big dick on his forehead. Then for 2 weeks you can actually call him a dickhead. This stuff don't come off for about 2 weeks. Fucking sliced my finger. Ground off the first 2 layers. That's metalwork 101. You can always cut yourself at some point. I'll get a band-aid once I get this stuff off. Don't want to miss a spot. Little cross hatch pattern. There. We'll make sure this is all covered once more, and I'd say we'll call it a day. Let it sit for a day and hit it with self-etching primer or etching primer for PR15 and paint it over. I'm in the process of repairing the hole here. Significant rust on the C-pillar, obviously, from the vinyl top that I once had. So I cut out the bad shit, PR15 around the edges. I'm going to box it in or bridge it over, or however you want to see it, by taking some metal and going from the backside to backside and just pressing forward and using panel adhesive. This stuff, just as strong as conventional welding without the sparks and heat. $50, but it'll work. So I did these two yesterday. Just, you know, put a little bit here and there and just clamped them on. Did that over here. Pretty rigid. I'm going to just repeat that process all the way from one side to the other. Then either put some fiberglass mat on top of this or Bondo or whatever else is filler and just smooth it over. And this will be whole once more. So from now I'm going to continue on with this process and keep adding to it. And then fill this hole in once and for all. I got the rear window in now. That window adhesive shit, kind of a bitch to lay down because it comes out in thick globs. Hard to use through a caulking gun. But I laid down just enough for it to meet contact with the body, so it's touching the glass, but there wasn't enough to go all the way around it, enough to cover it from one side to the other. Should have gotten 2 tubes, but what I did do is I had a tube of seam sealer, so I used on the top part to make sure that no rainwater will get in. Not going to hit this thing with the garden hose to make sure it's going to leak or not, or to see if it will leak. But what I can do is $8.74. I can smoke it out. Light up enough cigarettes here to turn it into a rolling bingo hall. If any smoke comes out, well then I know I need to hit that area with some more sealant. If anything, smoke's a lot better than water. If there's any holes in this thing, it's going to come out. Let's light up a little bit here. We're chain smoking here. Oh man, it's getting bad. Yes, kids, smoking is cool. Cool enough to find out if your window's leaking. Oh man. That's bad. It's billowing up along the window, but I don't see it coming out. For $8 this better work. For the record, I drink, I don't smoke. It's cheaper. How much an airplane bottle costs compared to a pack of cigarettes? Forget about it. I don't see any leaks or smoke billowing out. Can't even smell it. I think I got it licked. And I got 8 cigarettes fucking going on. If it's gonna come out, it would have done so by now. Oh man, we're at level 10 bingo hall smoke here. Got 8 of them going. The smoke's definitely going up, but I don't see it coming out. I don't even smell it. Eight cigarettes should be enough to make an cumulative amount of smoke to find a pinhole and push out. Should be enough. I got all packed a ways. Oh yeah, I can smell it now. We'll do it one more time. Light it up. Oh yeah. Jeez. I guess open up the door allowing some oxygen and made these cigarettes come back to life. For you kids watching, you're better off drinking. Smoking is way too expensive. I'm not gonna lecture on how uncool it is. This is it'll make you broke. If you need to have an addiction, try drinking. Or if you're good at stealing, steal cigarettes. I don't see any smoke coming out of this thing. I'd say I got it licked. It's fucking sealed. If smoke can't get out, water ain't coming in. That's my logic I'm going with today. It only took 8 cigarettes and $8 to figure that out. Alright, this has been fun. I'm going to go back to my other business here. I'm going to patch this up today. I'm going to pure 15 the trunk, the trunk floor while the weather's still good. Because you can only pure 15 when it's like 50 degrees and up. So I got the next piece made. Cut some grooves on there, to get it to fit. I made one line up that way and another line that way and one in the middle just for a reference mark so I can put it in place. Fits pretty close. This is what I'm talking about here. Goes under. Line up the lines along the edge of the hole. It'll look like something like that. I'll apply some glue along the edges here, clamp it, and then let that sit till it cures, and this will be just another addition. And then this hole will get smaller and smaller. So we're that far right now. Basically, here's a line right there, along there. So apply the adhesive in the outside areas, and then clamp it in place. Hard to tell with the glare because the metal's shiny, but it has to be bare metal. It has to be bare metal and metal for this stuff to work. So I'll start assembling. Well, this one's done. What I did was I used the C-clamps to hold it in place. I used sheet metal screws just to basically pick up the back end and hold it. I'm not even going to do these screws. I'm just going to grind the heads off and re-peel 15 the edges. That'll scuff off in the grinding process. So when this cures tomorrow, I'm going to grind these off and leave these in. These are just like miniature vices how I'm using them. Because the C-clip's going to go up to here, because they're that size. So they bite down just enough to keep this from moving. I use the sheet metal screws to pick up the slack on the rest of the clamping. So this is good. It's pretty rigid. I'll just grind these off and re-pure 15 everything, and just one more patch laid in. Making progress. I gotta figure out how to fill in this hole and call it done. Just let it sit for, a day, let the stuff cure. And grind all this down and, fill this in and then grind it all down and make it somewhat uniform. We're at the last end of this patch job here. Just got this one little hole to do. Too small to clamp anything the conventional way, so it's going to have to bridge over from point A to point B. Has to be thin gauge metal because I don't want whatever bridges over here to be higher than this point. I want it to stay below so I can fill it in with whatever I use. So I couldn't find anything at the metal shop, so I'll just use pop can. It's thin enough and it's aluminum. You can cause corrosion when you bond aluminum to steel. However, I'm using JB Weld, and wherever JB Weld is applied, it inhibits rust. So I scratched off the bare metal. This is where the JB Weld is going to be applied. And that's going to be like right here. And the painted end as well, nowhere else is going to be touching anywhere else. So there's only 2 areas where the aluminum piece is going to be touching. So, and that'll be covered with JB Weld. So the risk of corrosion is low. So it's going to be like this. And JB Weld sets quick, about 5 to 10 minutes. Ordinarily I would use this, but that takes a few hours, and I want to use that as the filler like Bondo to go over this whole fucking crater. That's going to, you know, strengthen the shit out of it. And it won't crack, because Bondo's known to do that if it's too deep. And it's a C-pillar, so it takes a lot of the shakes and G-forces and all that crap a car goes through on the road, so this will be the better way to go. So I'm going to start getting this ready and just slap it on. JB Weld is pretty easy to work with. Equal amounts of both. You can mix it up and just slap it. It looks crude, but it works. Now I'm just letting it set up for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to apply this whole fucking thing and use it like it's Bondo and just slap it over. And that'll be the final top layer. And I'll sand this down flush along with everything else till it's all uniform. Yeah, this will be ready to go in about 5 to 10 minutes because it's a quick setting JB Weld. And we'll take it from there. Once it cures, we'll start moving on to the other part. Treat it like it's Bondo. Bondo or JB Weld. Either way, you just gotta mix it in this formation. Do a few more times and we'll slap it on. Oh, it's the next day. Hasn't been completely 24 hours, but pretty damn close. I'm gonna start pulling this masking tape off. It shouldn't stick to the masking tape. Yep, rock hard. All the masking tape does is just, you know, make it flat and flush. Mostly. Keeps it from running. But mind you, this isn't Bondo, this is structural adhesive. Like, it's meant to glue fenders to bodies. You know, this is literally meant to glue fenders together. They assemble cars with, they don't weld no more, they use this. So that's what this is made out of. Strong shit. You think JB Weld is bad? Like, that shit's strong? This stuff is 10 times stronger than that. $50, but it ain't gonna be fucking, you know, weak no more. This is quite possibly the strongest part of the car as of now. It's such a high concentration of that stuff in one spot, you know. You know, sand this down and make it flush. Well, I can bring it outside for one, so it was raining the last time, so took a break. More importantly, let this cure up. It takes a bit longer when it's colder out for Bondo to dry. Hit it again, second time around, so making this all flat and flush should make it good. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna sand down the rest of the roof, you know, and eliminate the fuzzies left behind from the old vinyl top. And I'll just pure 15 some bad areas here. Just make it functional once more. That's all I'm going to be really doing anyways. Well, it's good as it's going to get, so time to cover it.